those whenever that object is going to be there, event objects are going to be there. All the objects, those events or encounters in the one concept is called as DOM event objects. All comes under that, and event handlers are going to be also with them, and they can able to modify, they can access all things that they can able to do it. So whenever that event is going to be get triggers, so it is going to be in the form of handler. Okay, this is the, hence only it is been written over here, function some handler it is going to be, that event is going to happen. So when event is going to happen, that it is getting triggers over there. Okay, so many properties are there, event properties: bubbles, cancelable, and prevent default. Okay, so bubbles is nothing but if any event is going to happen, more than one operations that it is going to get performs over there. If events bubbles property is going to be set for true, then there must be an event handler in place to handle that particular event, or otherwise what happens, it goes to the upper part. Okay, bubble up to its parent and triggers an event handler there. So directly if you're going to trigger it, whatever it has been asked, that is okay. If it is not, the previous upside that it goes, and there it is going to trigger that cancelable event. So you can able to either, if this is going to happen, the true and false, okay, or both conditions, if it is satisfied, then that particular concept, the events can be cancelled. Okay. Conditions, based on the conditions, that it can be cancelable. It's going to be used for the cancelable properties, going to be used for the Boolean values that indicates whether or not the event is going to be cancelled or not. Okay. Prevent default. Usually whenever that errors are going to be made, the program is going to stop automatically. You will not knowing what exactly that is happening. So to prevent the default, okay, prevent default method, that we will be going to use it here. Example it is being given here, saying that submit button is there clicked, some event is going to happen, that is the input is not going to be given properly and all this, and so many things that might have happened. Okay. Whether this is going to be cancelable, okay, that it should be checked. If it is cancelable, then prevent default is nothing but before stopping of that, it should ask again. So like that it is going to be. Okay, it should display some error messages basically. So there are different types of events. Event types are there. Okay, W3C has been specified very clearly. There are 4 types of events: mouse events, keyboard events, form events, and frame events. Okay, so let's see what are those. These are the mouse events. There are so many are there. On click is there, on double click, okay, on mouse down, on mouse up, on mouse over, on mouse out, on mouse move. There are so many things are going there. All these things you can able to operate on that. Okay, so I am going to show you that how this is going to work. Okay, and in the class example that I'm already executed those programs in the Google Classroom. Okay, keyboard events are on key down. That's what I said. On key down, when the keyboard is there, on key down, when you will be going to press that key down, when you will be going to hold down, the event is going to fire. Okay, on key press, one single press, that event is going to happen. On key up, okay, when you will be going to press down, it is not going to execute, but when the key is going to be up, that it is getting executed in that. Form events are on blur is there, means for example you consider there is one text box is there in that. In the text box, the focus is there, on focus first. Okay, when the on focus is there, in that I am going to say that some type, I am going to type it, some information in that. Whenever I am typing that, in on focus, the color should change of that particular text. I wrote in that way. So whenever the focus will be there in that, when I am typing, the color of that is going to change. On blur is there, means when the key and the mouse pointer in that particular text box comes out of that, the color should change. If I am going to write like that, then the color of that text is going to change. On reset, there is a reset button is there. So whatever that data you entered in the form, that should be get deleted, means cleared. On select, you'll be going to use cut copy paste, right? That on select what you should do, that is cut copy paste all the operations that it must perform, that input. Then on submit, on click of that submit button, the program should take all the elements in that and it is getting stored over there. If I'm going to write that particular program, it is going to do according to that. On change, any changes that we will be going to make it in that particular box, okay, or the value is going to change, then the form element is getting fired over there. The event is getting fired over there. The last one here, frame elements. On abort, okay, and abort. So abort button when it is getting pressed. On error, if it is going to happen. So on load. So on load is nothing but when the form is getting loaded. Once you go to open that particular form, immediately the answer, action should happen in that. On resize. Now the screen size is this much. When you will be going to shrink it, what should happen? Okay. So automatically the bar should navigation bar should appear in the right side. Then on scroll, when you will be going to scroll move, what should happen? On unload means you will be going to, that form is getting closed, then what you should do? Usually on load, on unload, so usually on load the database are going to be opens, okay. On unload, that the database is getting closes over there. So these are the some form events are going to be used. Validating the forms, usually the forms are getting validated by using the functions, okay. The function is the keyword is going to be there, then you will be going to use that keyword. Is numeric, the function name that is being given, okay, is numeric, that is being checked, and the n is the value that it is going to check here. Return not is none, is not a number, pass float n, and is finite. So within that, if it is going to be, then you should display that. It's the is numeric, that it is going to be checked, okay. So this is going to be used for the validations. And finally, you will be going to submit the form. So whenever you will be going to submit the form, you will be going to use the document.getElement by id, that login form will be there, that it is going to be taken, right. Then form example, it is being stored over there, right. Form example dot submit, the button is being pressed over there, function is being called over there, then the form is getting submitted over there. And when you'll be going to submit the form, you'll be going to use this two things. One is prevent the default and on submit event. On submit, what should happen? Okay, those functions that you should write it. Prevent default is nothing but any errors that it is going to encounter, what you should do that. So those things are going to be. So these are the form functionalities, and events are going to be there. You'll be going to use all these things in the program. Okay. Let me stop over here.